Hey guys, welcome back to Nioh 2. Today we're looking at the Tonfas. This video is designed for anybody who missed the open beta or who didn't get to try out the Tonfas, or if you're anything like me and you're obsessing about which weapon to choose. So, starting out in high stance, you get a 3-hit combination at base level with the light attack. And you can tack on a heavy attack to the end that we just saw. I'll show you that again quickly. The heavy attacks you get at base level in high stance are great for closing down the distance with the enemy and making the first attack. You can also transition quite nicely into light attacks after your first 2 heavy attacks. If you're in the middle of a light attack sequence, you can actually slot in the heavy attack at any point during that combination. It's really convenient. Okay, now mid stance. Mid stance offers quick and fluid attacks which have really good forward momentum, and for one of the quicker weapons in the game, the damage is actually pretty decent for the mid stance attacks. The heavy attacks in mid stance offer surprising range and really good fluidity again. Low stance is where the combat really picks up the pace. The level of fluidity between the light attacks is insane and the speed is great, the range is good. The only letdown is the damage, which I'll show you in the real combat portion of the video. Again, I love the forward momentum here. Once you're engaged in combat, you can really stay all over your enemy like a rash. You can see the same is true of the heavy attacks, and the beauty of this is that you can transition between the light and heavy attacks really seamlessly. One thing I like about the Tonfas is it's really easy on your stamina, your key energy. Just look at the length of this combination. The sustainability is really impressive. Right guys, we're going to jump into some real combat to show the Tonfas off. If you're enjoying the video, do me a favour, leave a like and leave me a comment, maybe even subscribe if you're feeling generous. Okay, let's jump in. You can see how the forward momentum here really helps keep me engaged in the combat. Other weapons probably would have let me down at that stage. I also loved how I had enough energy to jump into combat, do my attacks and jump back out again to safety. This fight really demonstrates the beauty of the low stance fluidity. You can take down 2 enemies simultaneously just by peppering them down like a machine gun. However, right here demonstrates the lack of damage in low stance. It was slightly disappointing. Now, I'm sure it scales. I'm sure it scales up when you spec your build correctly. But right at base level, the damage is quite low in low stance. Just be aware. All that said, the damage in high stance is still pretty impressive. And the attacks are still really quick. Switching into mid stance here for a bit more speed. You can see the damage is still really good now. The finishing damage is low, and I'm starting to wonder maybe if that's what it is that's giving me the perception of really low damage. Maybe it's just the finisher that I'm struggling with. Here you can see in low stance a really good transition between the light and heavy attacks, how it lets me make up the distance and continue my assault. Also, did you notice that I took down his stamina in almost a heartbeat, and it was only really the finisher that let me down when it came to finishing him off. Just while editing this, I've started thinking about using the Tonfas and then maybe having a backup heavy weapon to do the finishing damage. Something like the axe or maybe even the Adachi. Now you can see during this fight that obviously I'm not particularly skilled with the Tonfas yet, but I kind of won the fight by sheer force of will, forward momentum and speed at the end by switching into low stance. In the end, I just ended up tanking his damage and just powering through with my own attacks. Not exactly my most skillful moment, but I think it proves the point. Right guys, that was the Tonfas. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for joining me. I'm seriously considering using those myself, perhaps as my backup weapon. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. See you again for the next one. Cheers now, bye bye.